China, and I was like, oh my god, there's literally no going back now. I remember being so scared.
Everybody else had walked off, so then this guy cornered me because I was like next to a brick wall.
When we went to China, it was like we were celebrities.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. So in today's video, we're gonna be doing a story time based on the story. On when me and Gab went traveling. It was both our first times like traveling backpacking.
Yeah.
And also our first holiday together.
Yeah, so it was our first time going abroad together.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
So it was in 2017, but what we're gonna be sharing with you is like the bad
like
things.
all the kind of disasters, things that went wrong.
Yeah.
Because obviously we went backpacking anyway, so it wasn't all glamorous, because backpacking isn't glamorous. But these are just like the things more than that as well. Just like,
so we went to China, and we traveled like all around China.
Yeah,
we went to
all
Indonesia.
China.
We started in Sumatra, and then went to like other
all the
islands
way in
around.
like Toba.
Yeah.
And then so we spent 3 months together and then split off for the other 3 months. So Ella and her ex went
to Australia,
and then
I went to Thailand. I went to Bangkok on the way back. Yeah.
And then I stayed in Sumatra for a bit longer, then went to Singapore, Thailand, Bali, and Raja Ampat.
Yeah. Right, so let's start with...
Yeah, we'll start in China.
Yeah, so we're gonna start in China. Can I also just say, this isn't anything related to the story, but like, I remember the feeling of being on that plane from wherever we stopped off first. I think we stopped off in Singapore before we got into the flight to China.
Really?
Yeah, I think we were in Singapore airport. Oh, no, it was Malaysia.
I thought we were in Malaysia.
Malaysia. And that...
Oh, the airport was so... Were you talking about the airport?
No, the airport was nice, but I just
airport.
mean on the flight from like Malaysia to China, when we were on that flight to China, and I was like, oh my god, there's literally no going back now. I remember being so scared.
Really?
Because I was like, there's literally no going back now. I was like, because you don't know what it's going to be like. It's a country that I've never like had an interest in or known about.
Yeah.
So when we went to China, it was like we were celebrities.
Ella more than me.
Yeah, because blonde, white girls. I had blonde hair, and they were all. It was
Everybody was so amazed
because it wasn't big cities and stuff, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, like who are these people?" Like it's as if they'd never seen a blonde white girl before. So people would stop us in the street and ask to take
even
pictures
when we were in main cities, even when we were in like Beijing.
Yeah,
people were like,
oh my god, and we were like, we were literally just like, oh,
my God,
I literally have like my hair scraped back, like no makeup, and be like, you want a picture? No. Oh, okay. But that's it. I think my record for getting pictures in a day was 14 pictures.
Wow.
With different groups of people. But on one of those, we were at the giant Buddha.
Yeah.
And a girl asked for a picture, and I was like, yeah, sure, like normal territory, you know, being a celeb in China. And I get to take this picture, and she just takes my hand. And she
like
stood
this,
there.
and then she just went,
and then like to take a picture, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so yeah, that was quite a strange one, but we've got a video of that happening where I'm literally just stood there and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, literally just ask for pictures all the time. Not all of these are actually like horror stories then. Some of them are just like,
yeah, just
these are just things that happen. So the next thing that happened, this actually wasn't our fault. We were at the Summer Palace and we went to get a tuk-tuk. I think we were literally not going far. We were going down the street because we'd walked a bit, and then instead of walking all the way back to get the bus somewhere, we just thought like, oh, we'll get a tuk-tuk.
And, you know, yeah, because we were like, oh my god, tuk-tuk, like, yeah, let's try it, let's go on.
But the guy,
I was just gonna say, like, we didn't expect it to, we weren't expecting to be ripped off. I mean,
but he said, he told us a price before, because we were like, because how much, and then he said,
that's it, we'd heard about like being ripped off for the tuk-tuk, so before we got on it, we said to him, how much is this gonna be? And he said like 50
but however much that was converted to.
I don't know.
But then, so we were on the tuk-tuk, we got off at where we wanted to get off.
Which was like a
and
4-minute ride.
Yeah, and then he ended up asking for like so much more. And we were like,
probably
no.
like 100 more.
Something like that, yeah. It was like,
it was ridiculous.
It was like a ridiculous amount. And then we were saying, no,
so
that's
we gave
not
him
what
the
you
money.
said.
Yeah, we gave
you
him
gave
the
him
money.
the original money that he had said, and he was like no, and he wouldn't take it because he wanted more. So then at that point, so we obviously weren't gonna pay him the other amount. So we tried to give him the original amount, and then they ended up just like walking off.
Yeah.
And I was
like, no, we're not paying this. Like, here you go, here's the money you said.
And I was just stood there like, but you can't not pay, like,
we were like,
guys.
yes,
so I was just stood there,
so we were like,
as everybody else had walked off. So then this guy cornered me because I was like next to a brick wall. He cornered me, and then I just thought, oh my god. So then I tried to walk and catch up with him, and he put his arm out because it was like I was still here. So then they had to come back, and then
because we'd just literally like walked up and we're like, no.
Yeah.
Bye.
So then my ex came and like had to like grab my arm and like pull me through the guy's arm, and then just like run away. So,
that was dramatic.
That was a bit intimidating.
That was on like our 3rd day as well.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you just have to know to be like, set your boundaries and be like, no.
But I mean, that can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere with a tuk-tuk. Talking about transport, so
what way did I write into that?
So the travel kind of got to me.
That's the way to put it. Basically, right, how do we explain this? We were getting on a bullet train, okay? And we stopped off at the shop on the way there, and they like got some snacks. Like, it was literally only going to be like an hour train or whatever. And Gab had picked up these chocolate muffins. And she was like, oh my god, chocolate muffins, like, whoa, like, get them in China, like, she was like, no, don't even ask me for these, because you're not gonna have any, don't even bother asking for one.
Wait, but no, did something happen before that to make me think, you're not having my food anymore?
Probably, like, just not sharing food, I don't know, I can't remember, you know how I won't be able to remember that. Anyway, Gab gets up to go to the toilet.
And I was like,
oh
don't eat
my
my muffins.
But she didn't, no, you didn't say it like that. She was like, don't eat my muffins.
I must have been annoyed at you for
you
something.
were,
I must have been annoyed at all of you for something.
Yeah.
You must have been
Well, we were just thinking it was so funny. Anyway, my ex grabs the
my bag of food, gets the muffins out, and hides them.
Yeah, and hides them. And then
because Jamez had a chocolate cake, so he had chocolate cake in his hand ready for when I got back from the toilet. And I was like, don't eat it. And
then Gab comes back and just sees him with this chocolate cake in his hands, and he goes, oops. And Gab, oh my god, when I tell you, Gab screamed on this train full of people.
I literally had.
I
had no shame, honestly, at that point.
She had no shame. I
don't know why.
She was like, why would you do that?
Why are you eating my food when I told you to not eat it? Give me my bag. I did. Grabbed my bag, sat down and went.
And then we couldn't stop laughing. We were all just in shock that she'd actually like made that much of a scene. It was some muffins. We were like, here you go. It's your box of muffins. And then we were all just like, what just happened? I wasn't expecting it. Like, literally how when she screamed, and we were like, oh my god. So she literally just screamed down the train, and everyone was like, it just seemed like she was having like a genuine like, I don't know, we were just like,
I didn't scream for that long. I just was like,
where's my bag?
Oh my god. And then I sat down, and then I just ignored you all for the rest of the night.
And then we were just laughing so much, but then I was just in pure embarrassment. And then she just screamed loud and like, oh my god.
And I literally wasn't even embarrassed because I was so annoyed. I was like, I don't care.
And it was literally all about some chocolate muffins. But that's it, you're with people 24/7, you know, you start to irritate each other a bit. And then there was one time that me and Gab got in a big fight in China, over literally something so tiny again. So basically, do you want to explain this one?
Okay, so we were in Guilin. This was towards the end of our trip, I think.
Yeah.
And we were on the street, just walking around the shops.
Yeah.
And then we split off, and then I think
to go back to the hostel.
Yeah, so I think what even happened?
No, so we'd been out shopping.
Me and Jamez got lost and we called you. You called previously and Jamez hung up on you, but we were lost and we called you and we were like, why did you walk off, or which is the way back or something? And then something happened where Ella ended up hanging up on Jamez because they started like bickering on the phone, but I got annoyed at that because we didn't know where we were and we needed Ella to be like,
even though,
this is the way back.
I just add, he would always hang up on me, so it wasn't anything new.
It wasn't like me being bitter. So then you were out shopping anyway. We got back before you, but then I was annoyed.
Yeah, so even though they were lost and they
we found our way back.
Yeah, they found their way back and got there before us. And then that's it. Once I got back, like I just didn't think of anything of it. But we were just like, oh, everything's normal. And I went back and I was like, oh my god, look what I bought. But
even before this, Jamez said to me like, don't have an argument, don't make it a big deal. Like it's not a big deal. But I was in my mind like, I'm so annoyed.
And I was also thinking it's not a big deal. So I went back and I was like, hi, just
and then as soon as Ella sat down, I went, why did you hang up on us before? That was like so rude. Obviously we didn't know where we were, and you were like so unhelpful. Blah 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 blah. Just going off on one.
And I was like, what? I was like, that was literally nothing. I was like, he hangs up on me all the time. I was like, calm down. She's like, and then you just went off on one, and I was like, oh, shut up. And then you
because I said that, but then when I finished saying what I was saying, then I think you were just like in shock and went. And then you started saying your thing, and then Ella stood up and abused me. She picked up her water bottle and threw it right at my face.
No, I didn't. Right, let me just tell what actually happened. So Gab, what actually happened? So Gab had just been shouting in my face over this thing that was literally nothing.
Okay, I didn't shout. I said in a tone.
She was raising her voice, and I said,
no,
girl,
raise it down.
Back down. Sit
Hi.
down.
No, isn't like you just sat down. I mean, like reenact it, not sit down. Hi. Why? Yeah, I said it with a tone. I didn't shout. I remember that. So
but then the more.
Why did you just do the blah blah?
Yeah,
blah,
but then the more that the conversation carried on, the more we started.
Yeah, and then
to shout.
I was like, and you were like,
and then we started shouting at each other, and we were just arguing, and then I was like, oh, shut up, and picked up this empty plastic water bottle, and was just I didn't throw it at your face. I just went, oh, shut up, and just like threw it on the table. And then you were like, you stood up and you were like, oh my god. And then I was like, she hit me.
I know, you went to go, I was like, oh my god, and you went to hit me and I grabbed your hand.
I did not get
Yes, you did. That's what, you threw the bottle at me and I went, oh my god, and stood up. And then you went and then I grabbed your hand and then we were there just holding each other's hands. That's what I did.
Yeah. So, don't get a fight with me, bitch. That was like the only time we've ever like probably fought.
That is the only time.
But that's it. I all just started because I picked up this empty water bottle and was like, oh.
No, that is the only time we've ever like shouted at each other.
And we were like, I was like, we were screaming at each other. Like everyone in the hostel was like, what is going on? And we were screaming at each other. But that's it. We know like now, even then really, we know when we're not like vibing with each other. Yeah, like we'll just like if we can tell if someone we don't have to even say anything. If you use the page of my book one more time, what are you doing?
I was just using this. You don't read that.
What for?
It's just an empty page.
What for? Oh. Yeah, like we know when we just want to give each other space. Like you don't have to say anything, and it's just like, okay, we'll do our own thing. Kind of thing. I think that also stops arguments. Yeah, because
we never argue.
We never argue. We debate sometimes. We have disagreements. We never argue.
No.
Goals. These are not as dramatic. I'll just say my one quickly. When we went to the Great Wall of China,
the Great Wall of China,
we snuck onto the unrestored bit. So obviously there's the main bit where all the tourists go, where you walk up and down steps and whatnot. One of the little like hilly bits we're on.
No, out of the window. We climbed out the window and jumped on over the.
That's what I was saying. Okay, so we went to like one bit of it where there was like a window ledge thing. Well, there wasn't an actual actual window. It was literally just like a bit of stone that was open. And we were like, there's no one around, let's just jump out, let's just see what's there. So we just like snuck out, and we were walking up a bit, and we ended up on like the unrestored bit, so the bit that they hadn't restored of the Great Wall. So it was literally, we'll put pictures up, but it was literally just broken down the Great Wall with like loads of bushes and trees like growing into it, and we literally had to like climb through all these trees, and we ended up seeing like the best views of the Great Wall.
We went, oh, you didn't go that far, Ella. Okay, because but then so we ended, Ella and Dave went back, me and Jerez ended up carrying on as far as we could until we got to a bit that had just crumbled in the middle, so we were just stood on the edge with the view of the whole of the unrestored bit, and then you could see the restored bit back. It was, oh my god, it was honestly incredible.
And I feel like that experience wouldn't have been as good if we didn't go onto the unrestored bit.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Apart from seeing the cute dog.
Oh,
that would help, but that's it. When we were going through all the, like, there was obviously so many like insects and bugs, because it was just all bushes that we had to like walk through. And then there was one bit that we'd gone through on the way there that was fine. There was like quite a few wasps. But we got through it, it was fine. And then on the way back, I'd forgotten about this thing, this wasp nest that was swarming. And you know what, I didn't know at the time, but the trick was to just like walk through, because they sense fear.
Oh, you just stood there.
I stood there and I screamed.
Stood there and let the wasp sing.
No. I was stood there before I got into it, because I could see how many wasps that I had to walk through, and because they were all just swarming about, and I was like, I cannot. I was like, how am I gonna? I was like, oh my god. But you just have to walk through, because they won't do anything if you just. But I was literally there, and I was like hyperventilating, and I was like, oh my god.
We were not very experienced at that point.
No, this is like the start of our trip, and I was literally like hyperventilating, and I was like, oh my god, like, what am I gonna do? I was like crying. I was like crying, because I'm like, like, I know I'm gonna be in so much pain.
Because you'd already got stung before that on your shoes.
Yeah, that didn't really bother me. That was you. That was you.
There was one stuck in my sock.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, ow, what's that? Ow, ow. And then I wafted one away, and then one was like inside my sock, and I was didn't want to touch it in case it's on my finger. Oh yeah. Horrible.
So that's how I knew about the wasp nest, because before we just walked through it and didn't see them. It was only because you had been stung so badly that I knew about it then. But then that day we were walking through it again, and they were all just right in front of me, just swimming about, and I was like, oh my god, no. And then I was screaming then, and then it was just like, just go through, you have to go through. And I was like, I can't do it. But then I just had to fucking do it, and then I got stung all over, and it was disgusting. But we live and we learn, and they sense fear, which I now know.
Yeah.
The last kind of story we've got for China, is the time we got locked out of the hostel.
We were
arriving in
Xi'an.
It was very late.
It was really late. So we got
like
off the train.
1 AM or something.
We got off the train, and there was only like a couple of taxis left. We were like, how much is it to go here? But the taxis didn't want to take us there, because you had to pass.
I don't remember.
You had to pass somewhere, and they were like, no, we're not going there, we're not going there.
Oh, like it was too far away to...
It was like, it was past some sort of crossing.
I can't remember that.
I don't know what the reason was.
Basically, the taxis didn't want to take us.
And then there was,
or it was going to be
taxi was really expensive, so we were like, no. And then we ended up just having to get a taxi.
Yeah, because it was literally like 1 AM, and there was literally no other option for us getting there.
Yeah, so then we were in a taxi, and then it was like driving, and we thought it was taking us to like, it was literally down an alley, and we were like, where is he taking us? We literally thought we were going to get out of the car and then be held at gunpoint and be like, give us a little money. but no, it was actually the hostel that we were staying in. So he dropped us off, we got out, he drove off, and then we were like, we didn't know where it was on the street. So then when we found the building, it was shut, it was closed.
So we had all our bags, our huge bags. It was like
1 in the morning, and no one was answering the door, no one was answering the phone.
We didn't even know if it was the right building because it wasn't well signposted. It was literally just like a house.
So we were trying to get into this hostel, and we were literally there for like half an hour.
Probably like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
just like stood outside.
You know, we thought we were just gonna have to sleep on the streets. This story would be more interesting if we did have to sleep on the streets. But no, we did. We got into the hostel and she let us in.
Yeah, the woman then came out after like 45 minutes and we were like, oh, you are in.
Right. So I went to Raja Ampat, which is in Indonesia. It's not that like, it's not mega touristy. You have to pay. It's different islands, which is like a big conservation because people go diving there, and the wildlife is very pristine.
Yeah, basically they don't want tourists going there and
just like ruining it. So you have to pay to go in. So there's a main island, and then you get a boat to whichever island you stay on, and you stay on like the little huts on this, like on the sand in the sea. So that's where I was. There was like no internet while I was there, no Wi-Fi, nothing. They like caught the fish and then cooked the fish, like they caught the fish in the sea. Cool. It's really cool. It was like very remote. And then on the way back, you had to go in just like a little
rowboat,
electric motorboat. Like a motorboat.
Like a little one.
Yeah, I'll put a picture up of like the boats that they use. So we had me and Jemez and 2 people, and originally throughout the day we didn't know if we were going to be able to go back that day because there was a storm. So we were like, oh, we'll have to see if it eases off, if it gets better, if we're going to be able to go. But like we had a flight to catch, so we were kind of a bit like, oh well,
how are we going to have to?
Yeah, are we gonna? But obviously if it wasn't that safe, but it did not seem safe at all. So basically we were in the boat on the way back, and it was about a half an hour boat trip, and it was so stormy.
That's so scary.
Like the water was rocking in different directions. There was currents going literally all different directions. There was rain. It was like windy. So the guy at the back was like steering the motor, and then there was the guy at the front who was like looking at the currents and directing which way, because you had to dive into the current, you had to dive into the wave so that you stayed on top of the water. Because if you imagine they're so experienced, if you weren't experienced and if you like steered the boat away from the wave, then the wave would go onto it, and then you would sink. And then imagine sinking in the massive storm and the current.
You die.
You would have. I cannot swim very well.
I know.
Like one of the parts when I just went swimming, there was like, it wasn't jellyfish, but there was some sort of like jelly creature, loads. It was like at some point in the sea when you went past a certain point, I swam into it, and I was screaming, and I was like, what is this? And I had to swim back, and I was like, oh my god, it was like this. I was so scared. I was so scared with my snorkel, and I was like, but then I did see a shark and a turtle.
Wait, you just completely just like disregarded the storm boat story.
So yeah, basically it was basically just this really horrific boat trip trying to get back, and I had to like cover myself with a blanket because I just couldn't watch. There was obviously water coming onto the boat, and then I had to like scoop it out.
Oh my god!
Because then it was
I would have cried.
Traumatic. No, I had to cover myself with a blanket because I was like, I don't want to watch. And then I came up sometimes, and I was like, nope, nope, don't want to do this.
I would have cried so much. That's traumatic. Oh my god. But yeah. Wow. Okay, right, well this video is very long. So they're gonna split this up into 2 videos, I think, if people want that. I mean, I want that anyway, so we'll do that anyway. Because I want to watch back on them, because I forget everything.
You forget everything.
I forget everything.
Oh my god.
It's actually a problem.
So is that it?
I think that's it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we hoped you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was not like one big story, one big, like, interesting, extravagant story, but there's just like loads of little
mishaps,
entertaining bits to listen to.
And it's good for me to learn what happened in them situations again, because I forget. So, you know, it's nice to watch back on.
Yeah.
So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like it and subscribe. And we'll see you for a part 2. Possibly, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
And if you have any travel stories, send them in.
Yeah, because we would actually really like to.
I'm joking. No, I can't say it like that. I'm saying it if I was in a magazine. Send them in and we give you £250.
Oh, my pesos.
Oh, no,
that's the next one. That's the next one. Save it. You say thanks for watching, because I've carried this whole list. I've carried all of this.
Carried all of this. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.
Thank
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.